Hey y'all, it is your favorite nerdy girl here, Nerdy Girl Reviews, and now you can see the movie I am reviewing for this Christmas special. It is the Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey, now streaming on Netflix. It made its debut last year, but very family-oriented Christmas movie, and I thought it would be a great addition to all the other classics that we've already been seeing for a number of years. If you'd like to see the full commentary, keep me locked here on YouTube. If you're watching this on Instagram, click the link in bio. If you're watching this on IG Stories, click the link. It'll link you to my YouTube page. And to see my other reviews, you can catch me on sofritoforyoursoul.com. Stay tuned. There are a lot of beautiful songs in this film, and not the traditional. Again, that's not throwing shade or taking away from all of the other classical scores that we've heard for all these classic movies like Home Alone and The Christmas Story, The Nutcracker, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But it just gives another embellishment, another way of seeing Christmas stories, and even if through music. What you're hearing is a snippet they played in a particular snowball scene, which is really fascinating. And not for nothing, aside from the elements of African influence in the film, which is beautiful to see, even down to the dancing and choreography. There are elements of science and math and physics. I mean, it's an incredible story. What you're listening to, I believe the artist is Bisa Kedi. So that's what you're listening to. A really beautiful scene, really childlike. A snowball fight in the middle of the street, really cute. So enjoy my hot cocoa. So let's give you a little background. If you're not familiar with the film, please watch it because it really is worth the watch. Geronicus Jangle, sorry, an inventor, toy maker, and owner of Jangles and Things, receives the final component to his latest invention that he believes will change his and his family's lives forever. The component helps create Don Juan Diego, played by Rick Martin, a sentient matador doll. Geronius leaves to celebrate, leaving Diego at the store under the care of his apprentice, Gustafon. Gustafson. I think that's played by Key. Diego is distraught to learn that he will be mass-produced, thus robbing him of his uniqueness. He manages to convince Gustafson, an aspiring inventor himself, to get back at Geronicus by taking Diego and his book of inventions. Without proof, Gustafson's actions to show to the police, Jangles and Things falls into financial hardship while Gustafsson starts his own factory. After the death of his wife, Joanne, Geronicus grows distant from his daughter, Jessica, who moves away. 30 years later, Jangles and Things is a failing pawnbroker shop, and Geronicus has completely lost his creative spark. He is visited by a postwoman, Miss Johnson, which, again, by the way, I loved her character. She is British in this, and there are a collective that isn't now necessarily all with an American accent. Some are British actors, which I appreciate, and Miss Johnson is definitely one. Johnston is one of them. She's the postal service lady, but she has a crush on him, and the overt flirting is just refreshing because, not for nothing, there's nothing wrong with being not aggressive, but letting it be known, hey, throw me a little sugar every now and then. But I loved her, and she does save the day, believe it or not. But I won't spoil it for you. It's definitely worth the watch to see what I mean. Let's see what else. Miss Johnson, who is sympathetic to his plight and smitten with him as she tries to lift his spirits. Veronicus is visited by Barker, the banker, the banker, Mr. Delacroix, who tells him to pay his debts or produce a new invention to show to the bank by Christmas or lose his shop. And then Journey, and that's why hence the title, Journey is his granddaughter, his estranged granddaughter from his estranged relationship with his own daughter. And so she comes up with this really creative way of writing a letter and letting it be known that she has been sent by the daughter from afar to get a better idea of who her grandfather is. And at first he's kind of like, again, in a daze, since he's lost creativity, and he seems a little out there, a little quirky, reminiscent of Willy Wonka. He also even has her sign. I think he has trauma based on the fact that his idea book was stolen. He has her sign, his granddaughter has her sign that she is not to touch, break, and leave with any item from the shop. Very reminiscent of Willy Wonka towards the end, the very beginning of the film. All the boys and girls that win the golden ticket are to sign a contract which they can't even read. I mean, the fine print goes to the point where you can't see anything. But and then towards the end of the film, our remaining character was the only child that listened to Willy Wonka's rules, but his grandpa, he himself had like taken something that was like made out of gum, and I don't know if it changed colors, but he had pocketed it, and then somehow Willy Wonka finds out, and he goes into some like super crazy fit, and no, you do not win anything because you signed here. So it's very reminiscent when you watch this film. There's a number of creative artists. Also, Usher is attached to this project, and I think even John Legend, if I'm not mistaken. Here's a little more information on production. On December 7, 2017, Netflix bought and pitched from David E. Talbert, entitled Jingle Jangle, with Talbert signed on to write and direct the Christmas musical. And it is a musical, but I have no issues with the amount of music that you hear, because it could transition easily into a Broadway show. On September 17, 2018, it was announced that John Legend and Mike Jackson signed on as producers alongside David E. Talbert and Lynn Son Talbert. So on October 2018, Forrest Whitaker joined the cast of the film. In April 2019, Keegan-Michael Key of Felicia Rashad all joined the cast. In October 2020, it was revealed that Ricky Martin joined the cast as well. The film's musical score includes songs by John Legend and Philip Lawrence. And I believe, I could be mistaken, but I know that when I did some research on YouTube, I saw a couple of songs that perhaps could have been written by Usher. So it is a really great movie. I loved the songs. There were a number of other songs too that I fell in love with. I love this song was so beautifully written, sang by that lyric. Oh my god, I don't even want to cry. I have too much makeup on. I don't know who wrote this particular song, but it's sang by Madeline Mills, who played Journey. The song is titled Square Root of Possible. How cute is this? Atlantic Records prides itself for working on motion picture soundtracks such as The Greatest Showman, and this film in particular. I wish I knew who wrote it though. Square Root of Possible. Again, you can Google the soundtrack and score online, but beautiful vocal ability from this actress, and young actress, precocious actress, really cute. I loved it. And so she is the Journey. She's the young Felicia Rashad. And then we realize that the way that the story even begins, the movie begins, it is Felicia Rashad, much older, and she's reading this story from this storybook to her grandchildren, who then they, at the end of the film, realize that they're the great grandchildren to Geronicus. So, and there are elements too of steampunk aesthetic, and it feels very much like Ebenezer Scrooge, and how they don their costume. And Geronicus at the beginning too is very much, you know, kind of on the pessimistic side because he lost his creativity. So, you know, they always say people who are depressed or bitter, it's because of loss. They've gone through some form of loss. He lost his wife, he lost his creativity, and then he became really estranged from his daughter. So a lot of loss had happened to him, which made him bitter and really not, you know, open to receiving anything, love, friendship, nothing. But because they go essentially through a journey through his grandchild, he is able to revitalize, and that spark of creativity comes back. He's inspired, and whatever he had been working on comes true. So aside from the Ricky Martin model that he had done years prior, which, you know, that Key's character stole and made millions, he's able to create another robot that comes to life that honestly reminded me of WALL-E, 2008's WALL-E, which, not for nothing, I feel like, and maybe it's just a similarity or coincidence, but also reminds me of 1986 Short Circuit. It has the same kind of model in the face and composition of the robot. Again, these were our first androids, which now, of course, you know, now they're much, much more sophisticated. And again, when I mean that, I've just reviewed Mother Android, which I'll also link in the description box, or you can see soon after this if you would like. I've reviewed a number of films that aren't the typical Christmas story, but very kind of in that box. But I loved it. I love this movie. It's a really feel-good movie, and it's great because it incorporates BIPOC, people of color, in the cast. I think it was really well written, and I really do recommend it. It's streaming now on Netflix. Please watch it. We definitely need more representation, people of color, in front and behind the camera. So give it all the support you can, and add it onto your collection of classic Christmas feel-good stories. So please stay tuned. I think my following video will be an emphasis on Christmas stories or winter-like stories that remind you of Christmas but aren't necessarily Christmas movies. That will be next. And also, I'm in the middle of watching the last episode of Insecure, so it's heartbreaking because I really love the show, and I can't believe that this is the series finale. But I really feel like they should turn this into, like, if once they're done and they have wrapped, they should turn this into a movie like Sex and the City did. Like, make them dollars, Issa. But I'm already in the middle of it, and there were moments that I wanted to cry, and I have way too much stuff on to be crying. So stay tuned for that. And like I mentioned, I'm going to be reviewing Matrix Resurrections and a number of other shows. So stay tuned for that, y'all. And until my next video. What a positive movie. I'm telling you, you gotta watch it. Oh, I love it. Bravo, bravo. I really hope it gets all the accolades it deserves, and if it goes to Broadway, please go get those tickets. But please watch it on Netflix today. Till next time, y'all. XOXO, Nerdy Girl.